Good morning, YouTube. Well, I don't know what time it is for y'all, but it's morning here, and just working on the farm right now. Just want to talk about how we live in a matriarchy as opposed to a patriarchy, because again, everything we've been taught pretty much is a lie, about the male principle running the world. I'm not saying that things that don't, unfair things or whatever you want to call them don't happen to females, but the problem or the imbalance started with the infecting or the damaging of the male principle. Because people got to realize the male principle is actually closer to the ether, and this is why women are actually more dense. They hold more water because the soul, energy, body, spirit, whatever you want to call it, comes from the ether through the male principle into the female principle, and then into the density. Somebody's calling me. Whatever. Anyway, I'm just saying that, like, basically we live in a matriarchy. You got, most people bow to the queen. You got, even in Islam, they want to act like it's such a patriarchal area or whatever. But the moon god is moon goddess, actually. If you really look into the founding, the founding principles of Islam, it's all female. It's the moon goddess and her two daughters. So even with something like Islam, it's still matriarchal. And they pray to basically a giant vagina, if you really want to keep it real. When you go to Mecca, really, I mean, it's really a matriarchy. Who goes and dies in the wars? The male principle rarely ever knows itself. They rarely even are afforded that, to know themselves. Because a lot of the times they're circumcised or many other things. A lot of energy has been basically directed at the male principle to create an imbalance to where male and female are both at an imbalance. But at the end of it, the female is the womb man, because it's really still we're all man or human, whatever. The womb man is the one that's running the show at this present juncture. And that's the truth. I mean, you could deny it all you want. I mean, really. You could say, the more male breadwinners or whatever, it just means more male slaves. Really. You want to keep it real. Like, that just means that you go to a job every day and you're a slave in most circumstances. Most people don't work for themselves, so to say that you're a breadwinner or the more males are breadwinners or they get jobs and all that, like, a lot of the times it's just, just them in slavery, and then they're the ones dying in the wars. Again, like, people don't understand, like, how it's really, it's just imbalance, and we're all getting screwed because of the imbalance. But the imbalance is starting from the attack on the male principle. And somebody just keeps calling me. It's so annoying. Cell phones are the worst thing ever invented. One of the biggest crutches ever. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about some more things. I just really wanted to say how we really live in a matriarchy, and how the female principle is the dominant principle at this current moment. And it just comes down to imbalance. And that's why, you're going to have females, they're going to be mad about this video. Like, no, we yada, yada, yada. We want this and we're not getting that. Okay, yeah, you might be getting screwed, because everyone gets screwed when there's no balance, when balance is destroyed. The male principle is basically totally absent in a lot of cases, emotionally. At an emotional level, they're absent. So now it's got to a point where they went from emotionally absent to totally physically absent, and it's just the female, basically being both male and female as far as parents go, and the male principle is totally absent. And the male principle is mostly disregarded and just discarded. And tossed away in most cases. Even when it comes down to what you eat, the male principle is always tossed. The seeds are always tossed. Everything. The male principle is always discarded and used. It's just used, and that creates the imbalance that screws us all. But at the end of the day, this is a matriarchy. It's been disguised as a patriarchy. That's what you do. You wouldn't want people to know the truth. You want to hide it. So you don't. You want to tell people, like, yeah, it's a man's world while women or the womb man is running the show. And I know it's different case by case, but as a whole, generally speaking, yeah, matriarchy.